Fabric. Fabric is the material that is found in clothing and furniture. It can be natural or synthetic. Cotton is a fabric. It comes from a plant. Polyester is a fabric. It's made in a factory. Wool is a fabric. It comes from an animal. Gina went to the store to buy some fabric for a dress she wanted to make. She went to the fabric store. There's a wide assortment of fabric to choose from. How much fabric do you need? The fabric in the coat is a blend of polyester and wool. Some fabrics are very delicate. Fabric softener helps keep your clothes soft and free of static when they are in the dryer. Fabulous. If something is fabulous, it's very, very good. The acting in 12 Years a Slave was fabulous. Patricia's cooking is fabulous. The employees did a fabulous job this quarter. We had a fabulous time at the party. This is absolutely fabulous. As an adverb, this word becomes fabulously. It's usually used as an intensifier, similar to very and really. However, it has a very strong effect on the adjective it modifies. Bill Gates founded Microsoft and became fabulously wealthy. Michael Jordan is fabulously famous for his basketball playing. Martha has a fabulously healthy diet. Face. A face includes a person's eyes, nose, lips, cheeks, chin, and forehead. When Charles wakes up in the morning, he washes his face. He has a smile on his face. I may forget your name, but I never forget a face. The word face is also a verb that indicates a direction or the direction in which someone is looking. The students are facing the teacher. This side of the house faces the north. The opposite side of the house faces the south. There are two people sitting at a table and facing each other. Sometimes the word face is used to describe a person's experience, now, in the past, or in the future. Kevin is facing several problems at the same time. Their family faced foreclosure of their home, but somehow they found the money they needed. Sandra will face 5 to 10 years in prison for the crimes she committed. The city is faced with increasing costs due to climate change. Fact. Something that's true is a fact. Facts support opinions, so they are necessary in the formation of one's own idea. Are you familiar with all the facts in this matter? Do you have all the facts you need in order to form an opinion? Reggie used all the facts he could find in order to support his argument. Denise couldn't accept the fact that her mother had died. You can have your own opinions, but you can't have your own facts. The opposite of a fact is a lie. They couldn't deny the facts. The adjective form for this word is factual. Factual evidence discovered in the investigation led to the man's arrest. The documentary wasn't very factual, so most people who saw it lost interest in its message. Is this a factual report or is it false? Fad. A fad is something that has temporary popularity. Fads are often started among teenagers, but adults also participate in the creation of a fad. There are fads in clothing, dieting, vacationing, and other activities that seem to change over time. Tanya avoids clothing fads when buying her clothes. She's very conservative. My friend Matt wears a hands-free device in his ear when talking on the phone, but most people think of this as a silly fad. Low-carb diets were a fad a few years ago. Now, gluten-free diets are popular. The wearing of sagging pants by teenage boys is a fad that hopefully won't last much longer. Beanie Babies were a fad 10 years ago. In the 1970s, mood rings and pet rocks were fads that made their creators very rich. Most fads come and go, but sometimes they remain popular enough to become a lasting part of the culture. Fade. The word fade is used when something gets smaller or loses its color. Things, places, memories, and ideas fade over time and space. You can use the word fade as a verb or as an adjective. In these sentences, faded is an adjective. I have a denim jacket that is old and faded. Sheila's jeans are faded. The upholstery on the furniture looks faded. The words on this document are so faded it's impossible to read. A frayed and faded flag flapped in the wind. These examples use fade as a verb. The simple form is fade, the past tense is faded, and the past participle is faded. The couch by the window faded from exposure to the sun. Tom's memories of his high school days have faded after 35 years. Some photographs that we have from the 1970s are fading. Faith in the company's future is fading, so many employees have left. The radioactivity in the ground around Chernobyl won't fade away for thousands of years. Fail. A person who fails does not get what he or she tried to get. An opportunity is lost, or there is no achievement. The word fail is the opposite of the word succeed. These sentences show how to use fail as a verb. Tom failed his math test. Tina failed to get the job that she wanted. Terry won't fail in school if he studies. Todd fails to get to work on time. The two groups failed to come to an agreement. The movie we saw failed to live up to the expectation we had for it. That restaurant has failed to live up to its reputation for good food. The power failed during the storm. Their business failed after 6 months. My mouse is failing. I have to buy a new one. The word failure is a noun. It can be used to refer to a person or a thing. Small business failure in the United States is very common. Bob and Marta's marriage ended in failure. Bertha never recovered from her failure in college. The project ended in failure. We had a power failure last night. Failure can sometimes provide important lessons for future success. Faint. To faint is to temporarily lose consciousness, and in some cases, fall over. Fainting is not something that you see every day, but the use of the word is very common for situations that cause a person to experience shock, surprise, or a sudden physical response to pain or trauma. Nellie began to feel faint after losing so much blood in the accident. When Tom saw how high the medical bills were for his hospital stay, he suddenly felt faint. Mildred fainted when she found out her brother died. I think I'm going to faint. I'm starting to feel faint. You look like you're going to faint. Jessica fainted at her son's funeral. It was too much for her to bear. You're going to faint when I tell you what just happened. Fair. The word fair is similar to the words equal and just. A fair situation usually satisfies everyone who is involved in it. However, there may be disagreement over what is fair and what isn't fair. Two countries agreed on a fair settlement of land. Everyone said the agreement was fair. A lawyer reviews agreements to make sure they are fair under the law. The laws should be fair and treat everyone equally. The company that Tony works for provides fair compensation to the employees. People protested in the streets because of an unfair law. Sometimes the word fair is used as an adverb when describing an amount. We received a fair amount of rain last night. A fair number of people are supporting that candidate for office. Sometimes the word fair means okay. The quality of his work is just fair. The turnout at the event was fair. He did a fair job, but it wasn't great. Business last week was fair. The word fairly is an adverb. The company treats its employees fairly. They are fairly treated. The workers are paid fairly for their effort. The police treated the suspect unfairly. As an adverb, the word fairly is also used in a manner similar to the words little, somewhat, or rather. This is fairly easy. His job is fairly difficult. She became fairly successful as an actress. The word fairness is a noun. Everyone wants to be treated with fairness and respect. The fairness of the contract was called into question by our lawyer. A certain amount of fairness is expected in deciding what punishment a criminal should receive. Finally, the word fair is a noun used to describe a gathering of people at a large event where there are competitions, entertainment, and celebrations. The Minnesota State Fair is one of the largest fairs in the United States. Matilda entered her cow at the county fair and won second prize. The school fair is a fundraiser held annually. Faith. To have faith is to believe in something or someone. We use this word in a way that's similar to the noun hope. It's also used to describe a religious institution and the people who practice a religion. Yusuf has a strong faith in God. His faith in God is strong. Sabine's faith was tested during the war. The United States is home to people of many different faiths. Meredith and Chris have a strong marriage and they have faith in each other. I have faith that you will be successful. My faith in you is strong. Tom put too much faith in the knot that he tied for his boat, and it broke loose. Jennifer has no faith that her car will start. Bill has very little faith in the weather forecast for today. Adding full to the end of faith makes the adjective faithful. They have been faithful to each other. Benito is a faithful and devoted husband. Susan was unfaithful to her husband, so he divorced her. Fake. The opposite of the word real is fake. This is a great adjective to use when describing something or someone that gives a false impression or doesn't seem real. Are those diamonds real or are they fake? That woman is speaking with a fake French accent. Matt used a fake ID to buy some beer. Sharon has a fake tattoo on her back that looks real. Someone is passing around fake $100 bills. You can also use this word as a noun. There was a story in the paper about a man who thought he owned a painting by Pablo Picasso, but it turned out to be a fake. He said he was a doctor, but it turns out he's a fake. Is this apple a fake or is it real? Sometimes the word fake is used as a verb. Is he really asleep or is he just faking it? Carolyn faked that she was happy when she got married. He faked his way through school and got a degree. Fall. If a person or a thing goes down, it falls, or a situation changes in some way. The first set of sentences shows how to use fall as a verb. This is an irregular verb. Pay attention to how the main verb changes in various tenses. The simple form is fall. The past tense is fell. The past participle is fallen. Apples fall from a tree when there's a storm. Jim fell off of a ladder and broke his arm. The price of gas is falling. Some books have fallen off the shelf. The tent will fall over if it isn't properly set up. The word fall is a popular choice when talking about the beginning of a romantic relationship. Kim says she's falling in love with her new boyfriend. Roger and Sue got married soon after they fell in love 30 years ago. Stevie and Pam have fallen in love. I think I'm falling in love. We fell in love with New Orleans when we visited it the first time. Edgar fell in love with his car immediately upon first laying eyes on it. The word fall is also a noun. Students return to school in the late summer or early fall. Fall is a beautiful time of year in the north. The leader's fall from power happened suddenly. We visited Niagara Falls when we were in New York. You took a big fall. Are you okay? Henry had a falling out with his boss. There are many idioms that use fall. The business deal fell through. The teacher fell for the joke. Labor Day always falls on a Monday. The drill sergeant told his troops to fall in. Sales at our company have fallen off. Plans to build a new park fell by the wayside. Family. A family is a group of people who share a common bond. These people are usually related by blood or marriage, but the word family is also used to describe members of an organization. Many families in the United States consist of two parents and two or more children. How many people are there in your family? My friend Jebediah comes from a big family. Xavier says he's ready to start a family. Rhonda doesn't feel like she's ready to start a family yet, so she's going to wait to get married. Doctors would allow only immediate family members to visit Eduardo when he was in the hospital. A reunion was held recently that drew extended members of our family from across the country. Our local firefighters work so closely together that they feel as if they are one big family. The word family is often used as part of a compound noun. There's a family reunion being held in the park today. Well over 200 people are expected to attend. We had a family gathering over the 4th of July weekend. The people affected by the gunfight considered it a private family matter. Charles considers himself a family man. Rick and Melba are taking a family vacation in August. Famous. A thing or a person who is famous is well known. Many people know about the thing or the person. There are many famous places to visit in New York. You might also see some famous people as you walk around the city. Jennifer Lopez is a famous actress. Brad Pitt is a famous actor. Barack Obama is a very famous person because he's the president of the United States. The Eiffel Tower is one of the most famous landmarks in the world. The word fame is a noun. The young man was unable to manage his sudden fame. Some people would rather have fame over money. George Clooney uses his fame to raise money for people who are sick and need help. The word infamous is used to describe the activities of a person who does something that's very, very bad. Al Capone was an infamous criminal. His infamy spread throughout the world. Infamous war criminals are often eventually found, tried, and punished. Fan. A fan is a device that moves air in order to provide a cooling effect on a thing or a person. Electric fans are useful in circulating air within a hot room. Handheld fans can provide individual comfort to a person who needs relief from the heat. In ancient times, fans were operated by servants for the comfort of rich and powerful people. The word fan is also a shortened form of the word fanatic, which is a person who admires and is dedicated to a particular cause, person, or organization. Fans of rock and country western music love the performers and the music that they play. Sports fans cheer on their teams and hope for victory whenever their teams are playing. There are football fans, baseball fans, soccer fans, hockey fans, etc. Some fans go to great lengths to show their support. They may even do things that are ridiculous or even dangerous in order to demonstrate their faith in their team. Fancy. If something is beautiful, ornate, elegant, sophisticated, or expensive, it might be fancy. He drives a big fancy car. That's quite a fancy house they live in. I don't want anything fancy for the living room. Let's keep the furniture and the decorating simple. Lindsay likes to wear large, fancy earrings. Dancers are known for their fancy footwork. She likes to wear fancy clothes and fancy jewelry. The meaning of the word fancy can have an intended negative meaning depending on the situation and the person who uses the word. He's wearing his fancy pants to work. Let's not get too fancy. Who do you think you are by trying to be all fancy? Thomas has a lot of fancy degrees, but that doesn't mean he's qualified for the job. He's a fancy boy. It's possible to use fancy as a verb, but this usage is often considered archaic. She fancies him. Neither person fancies the idea of getting a dog. In these next sentences, fancy is a noun, but the usage is considered to be old-fashioned. He took a fancy to her. She has a fancy for jewelry. Far. The word far is used when describing a point in time or distance. How far is it to the train station? Binti travels very far every day to get to work. The place you are looking for is not too far away. China is very far from the United States. Charles has traveled far and wide. You are too far from the microphone. Move closer. How much money have you made so far today? So far, so good. You can also use far to describe a person's movement within an organization, a company, or a school. Yusuf didn't go far enough in his education, and now he's back in school. Wes is likely to go far within the company because he's so bright. Vanessa feels satisfied that she's gone so far in her career. In some countries, girls aren't allowed to go very far in school. After 8th grade, their education might be finished. Far is also used to describe demands, requests, and behavior. The students pushed the teacher too far. She gave everyone in class a detention. That's far enough. You'll have to stop what you're doing. Members of the community don't believe the man's punishment went far enough. The hostage takers went too far in asking for money and a getaway car. How far will the employees be allowed to go in their labor negotiations? The comparative form for this word is farther. The superlative form is farthest. How much farther do we have to drive? Which student in this class comes from a country that is the farthest from the United States? Farm. You can use the word farm as a noun or as a verb to describe activities in which crops or livestock are raised as a business. Bob and Alice live on a farm. They're farmers. Bob has been farming for over 30 years. Farms are found throughout the United States in rural areas. Farms in the Midwest grow corn, soybeans, and wheat. Farming is a great way to make a living, but Sometimes bad weather causes problems. If I weren't a teacher, I'd probably be a farmer. Fashion. The word fashion refers to style and things that are popular. Ripped blue jeans are in fashion right now. Kids in high school like to wear clothes that are in fashion. Some fashions of the 1960s, 1970s, and 1980s are returning. Hip hop music and rap are still in fashion after 30 years of popularity. Driving a large truck or SUV is still in fashion, but many people continue to downsize their vehicles due to concerns about the environment. It was once the fashion to wear a lot of leather, but now that's out of style. People who insist on wearing silly looking clothes are said to be slaves to fashion. New fashions are introduced to the public at fashion shows. The word fashionable is an adjective. Kim likes to wear fashionable clothing. It's fashionable to carry around a cell phone, even if you don't really need it. Baseball caps are very fashionable. A person who arrives at a party half an hour late is said to be fashionably late. Fast. Use the word fast when describing speed or the movement of time. This word is similar to quick. He's a fast runner. She's a fast worker. This new computer is really fast. The class went by fast. Time goes by fast when you're having fun. You said that too fast. Could you slow down, please? You can use fast as an adjective or as an adverb. In the comparative form, use faster, and for the superlative form, use fastest. She's fast. She's a fast runner. She runs fast. This is going faster than we expected. He works the fastest of all the employees. There are some other situations when the word fast is used. He's living in the fast lane. Live fast, die young. She played fast and loose with the facts. These greens are fast. You can also use fast as a verb or a noun when deciding not to eat food. Muslims fast during Ramadan. Fasting is a common practice in many religions. Sadio isn't going to lunch because she's fasting. Some people fast to lose weight. He's on a fast. He's fasting.